All right, streaming back on.
All right. Let's see if let's wait to get everyone on here. It looks like everyone is back on. Chair Turner, if you want to open up public session.
Do we need a motion?
Yes, to enter public session. Yep. Or open session.
Can I get a motion to enter public session, please?
This is Bruce Friend. I'll make a motion that we re-enter public session, open session.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Ashley, you want to present our first issue?
All right. Okay, we have two requests today. The first one we are going to hear is actually the Learning Center. The Learning Center has asked to relinquish its charter. They are one of our oldest charter schools in Murphy, North Carolina. They serve K through 9, I think a little over 200 students. And the school recently notified our office and the Department of Public Instruction that due to financial challenges and financial problems at the school, that they would need to relinquish their charter, that there was no other option financially to be viable. There will also be ongoing investigations with this school, but at this point we need a motion to relinquish it so we can bring it to the state board and get final approval to close that charter.
Madam Chair, this is Bruce Friend. I make a motion that we accept the Learning Center's Board of Directors' request to relinquish their charter effective June 30th, 2022.
This is John Eldridge. I'll second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ashley, can we take a roll call vote, please?
Sure. Terry Stoops?
Aye.
John Eldridge?
Aye.
Bruce Friend?
Aye.
Rita Hare? Rita?
She was in the wrong room. I think she can't figure out which room we're in.
Okay, that's okay. So, Cheryl Turner?
Aye.
Todd Godby?
Did we lose Todd?
Todd's on mute.
I see him. Todd? I will need him to vote.
He's not on mute. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
Wonder if you could put it in chat.
Yeah, ask him, can he put it in the chat?
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks, Todd.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Todd. And Eric Sanchez.
Yes. Aye.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
Okay, that passes. The next item is Revitalize Charter School. So this school, and they are actually on the line, so I'm going to let them present their request. But they are a current RTO school. Were scheduled to open this August, I believe, and they are in the cohort of RTO schools that will be going to state board for final approval in July. They have not met their enrollment requirements, and they are also having facility issues, and they are here today to request a delay. So I'm going to let, I don't know if Ansel or Valencia, if you would like to speak, but you have the floor.
Good morning, CSAB. This is Ansel Cáceres. Thank you for the opportunity to formally share our request today. Joining me today is also our board chair, Dr. Church Williams, and our newest board member, Rafiq Kalamadine. So as I'm sure you've read in our email, Revitalize is requesting a delay year, which, we were told, I believe in our last call, that is no longer an option for accelerated applicants. And it was mentioned during one of our last calls that the policy had been changed because there were school boards who were taking advantage of the accelerated process and wanted to be interviewed first. I just want to start by saying that I hope it's clear through our diligence in completing tasks, reaching out to OCS for support, through our engagements with you all over the last year, and through our innovative model, right, in which we target historically failing subgroups in North Carolina, that we do not fall into that category of a school board looking to, just jump into the front of the line in terms of interviews back in September. We have made partnerships with several community organizations and are here to do the work to serve our children who need Revitalize most. And we've been doing this work for, over 2 years. As we mentioned in our email several barriers that we have faced this year. Although we're a grassroots level school, a single site school, we chose the accelerated route because we met the requirements. We found 2 viable facilities, had surveyed more than 100 families with an overwhelmingly positive response. And we believe our model addresses the academic and social emotional need coming out of COVID with urgency. But, like all things in life, we cannot control all variables. And some of the barriers that we faced were out of our control and, of course, made enrollment a challenge. The 3 biggest being shifting the facility space because CASA's board couldn't guarantee an August lease start. COVID restrictions that played a pretty big role in, not being able to table outside of major stores, pre-K programs, daycares, and an ineligibility for CSP planning funds, which we didn't anticipate as a first-time applicant. And so we're here today to discuss the impact of a delay, what the budget impact is, and hope that you consider the families who have chosen Revitalize and for all the families who will walk through our doors and be served by our model. We're happy to answer any specific questions that you have, or just continue to go ahead and share, what this delay year would allow for us, what the changes are to the budget.
Ansel, do you mind if I say something really quickly?
Yes, absolutely.
Good morning, everyone. I apologize if the noise in the background. I'm actually with my students here. My name is Rafiq Clementine. I'm the founder and one of the school leaders here at Ember Charter School for Mindful Education. I'm based in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. And actually, I have an IEP meeting that I have to get to shortly. But I just wanted to take a second to well, first of all, thank the board and thank you all for listening and hearing this application, this request. We've been in operation here in New York. We're in our 11th year, but it took us some time to get open here in New York. We did not have a lot of support, and it was really difficult for us to get to where we are, but we are thriving now. But for, early on, the investment of a few people who believed in us, we wouldn't be where we are today. But it was a real struggle. And what we did not have is an authorizer who was really supportive and believed in us. And in the beginning of this process, as Ansel was describing her experience, I saw CSAB as an authorizer I would have loved to have early on. Someone, a group of people who really believed in the vision of serving this population very differently than they've been served and otherwise neglected by most public schools. And so I want to ask you all, I recognize the need for procedures and the need to have rules. But there are also times when I think exceptions are warranted. And, given what we laid out here and just the sweat equity that Ansel has invested, as a person of color opening a single site school where there's no institutional help, where there are no resources being given to us to do it, it's difficult. But this work is so important. It is so vital. And if we can't find partners in the public sphere, it will make it really difficult to continue to try to serve the communities that we're dedicated to serving. So I want to ask that, perhaps some folks have already decided that the rule is the rule. You're not given any more, an additional year of grace. But I just wanted to really ask that you open your mind and your hearts and consider what we have to say here and that what we're sharing this morning. So thank you all for listening. Really grateful and appreciate all of the time that you all given us thus far.
Does anybody on the board have any questions?
No, no questions, Madam Chair, just, I guess, comments.
Any comments?
Well, this is Mr. Friend, and I do appreciate the request and the spirit behind the request. But the rules for an accelerated application are clear, and they were made clear from the very beginning of when a candidate submitted for accelerated application. Unfortunately, they've not met the enrollment goals that were initially set forth in the original application. We denied the request to decrease that enrollment goal so that they could hit the 75% mark just last month. And the facility is another key component, very clearly spelled out in the application process for accelerated apps. I, for one, think that those are the rules and they apply to all candidates. And that does not mean that I don't have an open heart or an open mind, but we have a process for accelerated applications here in the state of North Carolina. And this group has not met that process. And getting a delay is not an option for an accelerated application. We shared that with this group in September of 2021. We shared that with this group as recently as last month. The rules were known. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Just doubling down on that. It's just if we were to do something like this, then it really blurs the line of when people are making the decision of whether or not to go regular or accelerated application, because it gives them the opportunity to shoot for something, and if they come up short, to then just apply for an extension, and that's not something I think we want to have as part of our process.
I agree. We're really clear of that acceleration is a heavy lift. But when people decide to choose it, it's with the understanding that it's a heavy lift, and that having a facility and being ready to open in 1 year is really difficult to do, particularly if you're an independent school without support from some other organization. But the decision to choose that is the organization's decision. And once that decision is made, that sets things in motion. I think that we will create serious problems for the process if we start to say, well, yeah, these are the rules, and if you go accelerated, this is how this works, but well, maybe we'll change our minds. And so I would not be comfortable with supporting this request.
Madam Chair, this is Mr. Friend. I'd like to make a motion that we do not approve the request from Revitalize to give them a year extension.
I'll second. This is Eric Sanchez.
Been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Ashley, could you please take a roll call vote?
Yes. Terry Stoops.
Aye.
John Eldridge.
Aye.
Bruce Friend.
Aye.
Rita Hare. Cheryl Turner.
Aye.
Todd Godby.
You may have to go back to the chat.
Yeah, I think he's having audio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He said hi in the chat. Eric Sanchez?
Aye.
All right, that passes, and that will be part of the RTO recommendations that go to State Board in July.
Ashley, Rita here is on the call, and she did vote aye. Just want to make sure that's in the record.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Dave.
And I would say to the school, your next best option is to apply in the next round. All right, that's all. That's everything we have for today, correct?
Yes, you just need a motion to adjourn.
I need a motion to adjourn, somebody.
Mr. Friend, I'll make a motion we adjourn. Or I'll second Terry's motion.
Been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much. See you guys later.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Earl, we are done. You can turn off the streaming, and you don't need to put it back today.
All right, thanks, Ash.
Thanks. Have a good day.